The jury is still out, frankly. We don't know the degree to which the larger potential tariffs, the extra $200 billion or up to even $500 billion, will go into effect. We'll see. It's kind of a negotiating stance. And I think a lot of farmers are thinking, well, heck, we'll see. China is taking advantage of us. They're right about that. But my problem is this. I don't think this approach by President Trump is going to work. China's not going to give in very much. China is just going to keep proceeding, building up its so-called 2025 plan. That's the reality to them. And the so-called tariffs that the president wants to slap on China are just going to not work. It causes nationalism to even rise in China. A better approach would be for the United States to work with other like-minded countries who also have problems with China. And that way, China cannot divide and conquer. If we work in concert together, we could put some more pressure on China. But these tariffs are not going to work if they go into effect.
Derek, you wrote a provocative piece titled, "Should the U.S. and China Give Up on a Deal?" Consensus is they should come to a deal. So anybody who's proposing that question suggests to me that maybe there's a possibility you don't think they should bother to come to a deal. Am I right? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think you are right, and I think Senator Baucus just hinted at it. Tariffs very well may not work because the Chinese won't abandon their predatory approach to economics, their love of the state sector, their theft of intellectual property. I don't think working with allies is a good idea. I don't think it's going to work either. We don't have the same interests as our allies. It's very hard to coordinate with them. So I'm, coming to the conclusion that some other people are as well, which is we just need to disentangle economically from China. We're not going to get a good relationship with a Maoist dictator, which is what Xi Jinping is.
What do you think about that, Ambassador Baucus? I mean, Xi Jinping has moved backwards, right, when it comes to all the reforms that were started by Deng Xiaoping, that we thought it was inevitable that they were going to get to a market economy and be like us. But it's becoming increasingly clear that maybe that is not President Xi's plan. What do we do if that's the case?
Well, I think that's not President Xi's plan. I think that analysis is right. China is very different from the United States. Frankly, I think we have to work with them. In many respects, this is the United States-China relationship.
Why do we have to work with them if they, to Derek's point, no matter what you said, no matter what, they're not going to back down?
Well, they will back down, but they'll back down with the right U.S. approach. We have to work with them because we're the largest economy in the world. They're the second largest, not too many years from now. They're going to be even larger than the United States. We have to work with China and the UN. We have to work in China with lots of places around the world. We're joined together at the hip, the United States and China. We have to work this out. I know it's tough. It's true that China is taking advantage of us. It's true that China has a long-term vision. It's true that they'll keep moving ahead until they're checked.
One last question from Richard Bernstein here on set.
2 seconds ago, one of you just said something about disentangling the U.S. economy from China. Was Derek?
Yep.
And my question is, how in the world can we do that in shorter than 20 or 25 years?
Derek.
What happens to the U.S. economy in the meantime?
Look, I mean, there are going to be costs here, but as we all agree, we're already paying costs from our relationship with China as it is. We got ourselves into this situation in considerably less than 20 years. It has to, from China's WTO entry, and it accelerated in 2004, 2005. It's going to be costly. It's going to take 5 or 10 years. But the alternative is that we still have China stealing American technology. We don't get access to the Chinese market because state-owned enterprises will not face competition under Xi Jinping. So I'm not arguing this is easy or quick. I'm saying it's better than the alternative.